is going to be a really good couple of days.
Are you happy, John?
I'm
cast?
first cast. Smashed it on the mule deer caddis. So mule deer hair from Kevin's buck and rabbit fur from bear camp.
Hey, what's that net there, buddy?
Oh yeah, I built this net too. First of all, this is the vise. This is the bobbin thread.
Okay.
The hook is actually a dry fly hook. So they're just a lighter gauge of metal. This is the rabbit fur dubbing. The reason why I like the snowshoe hair is because if I want to, I've seen caddis down on the stream and they're white. So I can take this white rabbit fur and I just sort of spread it out on the thread and then wind it around with my fingers until it sort of bites onto the thread.
I've wanted to learn how to fly fish since I lived in Alberta, actually. It was on my bucket list.
So now we're building the thorax of the insect.
I never had anyone to mentor me through that process, and it wasn't something I would just go by myself and wing it. It was always in the back of my mind of something, that a loose end, something I really wanted to experience.
So you can see how it's fat up near the front of the fly and tapers down. So now when we add the fur for the wings will stick up a bit.
If I'm going to get teamed up with someone who's going to teach me, how to fly fish, he's the guy.
Same with the deer hair, right? If we wanted more of a tan colored caddis, which I do, then you can take it from this part. And if you want a dark haired caddis, you take it from there. Tying on the deer hair is actually kind of is a little difficult. So I'm pinching it quite hard on the top of the fly. And then I'm looping around gently, trying to grab that hair.
Okay.
Now we can build up the head. So now we're just wrapping thread to create a little head for it.
Okay.
There you go.
Woohoo!
Mule deer hair caddis.
The process of making the fly with mule deer or rabbit and incorporating all of those food procurement pieces to procure more food. It was really beautiful.
When I'm tying a fly, it's no different than when I'm making a bow or making an arrow. In fact, it's even more personal when I'm tying a fly because the materials that go into the fly mean something to me. It's a piece of mule deer hide from a hunt that I cherish greatly, that Kevin and I were on. So every single fly I make has a bit of that memory that goes with it. Same with the rabbit. The rabbit fur comes from hunting bears this spring. And instead of letting that resource go to waste, it's like, hey, let's just salt these hides, dry them out, and we can use them for tying flies, which then catch fish, which then make us a great meal and another great memory. So it's like a memory vortex. Pretty powerful, I think, anyways.
Me too.
And of course, it can just be a fly that you buy at the store for $4.89. And it means nothing to you. You will catch fish with it and you will create memories with that for sure. So it's not bourgeois. It's just cool, right? Like to me personally, it just has that deep connection. It's no different than when you're cooking food or Kevin's cooking food. The food ingredients create memories that make the meal, that make the memory. Same exact same thing with this.
It's just such a beautiful thing, being able to do that and seeing that and, knowing that this is just normal John, just doing his thing and just being thoughtful and careful and creative. It's just really inspiring.
And then the hackle goes in the front, and it doesn't have wings. So basically the same recipe. In fact, do you want to make your tattoo?
So why this tattoo? It traces back to my humble beginnings in the food industry. The restaurant I worked at was modeled after a fly fishing lodge, and it was located on the Bow River. And it's where I fell in love with food. But not food. The story that's attached to food, because that's what makes food meaningful. It's why I hunt. It's why I seek to do these things, is to connect deeper with my food, with nature. I hadn't really bared my heart in that way about it, because many people just don't get it. And I remember getting scolded by a friend when I got emotional talking about food, and he was like, "Oh my God, Mel, you're just talking about food. Why the fuck are you crying?" And it was just like, man, he just doesn't get it. And being surrounded in people that get it is an extra layer of humbling. And like, what a privilege, because finding your people is really hard. And then getting to do stuff with your people is like amazing. It's like that little piece of you that's searching for the thing. And then you find the thing. Yeah, it just fleshed out what food actually means and what sustainability means, and how we've lost the plot so often. So that changed my life.
All right, let's build that tattoo.
This is sorrel. It has a really lemony flavor to it, so I'm just picking all the smaller leaves if I can. I grabbed some of the tops because they still have that citrus, and it's just a beautiful garnish. There are so many gorgeous flowers that we're surrounded in, I can't help myself. I'm just putting together a little bouquet for us at camp. Kevin and I have both been talking a lot about tequila, and tequila is just delicious. So lemon in sorrel is a great burst of acidity, and to find acidity, I know we've talked about it so many times, but to find that kind of acidity in nature is like totally crazy. So we're going to play around with the flavors and see what methods work best for what ingredient, and try and put together something that tastes delicious. This one can go in our flower bouquet. I'm in the city and I get this restless, icky feeling after a while if I haven't got outside. And then you get out and you're like, okay, my soul can breathe. It's not because I just like it, you know? It's for me to survive life, I need the thing. I need to I need this. I need the connection, the stillness, the looking around, my feet touching the ground. I would be a horrible person if I didn't do it for myself. I think I would just be miserable. Being on the water is soul-soothing. There's something so mesmerizing and meditative and calming about being on the water. And I watched the fish feeding, and I watched the insects bobbing on the top of the water, and I felt the sun on my face, and it was just everything that recharged my insides. It's just a totally magical place.
You don't need to, because look at how much line you have. So, okay, good. Yeah, too far up. Yeah, work your way up with your feet. Go like 45 degrees at most is usually what I do. Why I work on that. And more rope
Even before I got to spend a lot of time with John, I always described him to friends and family as this incredible artist. He is such a creative. He's amazing with his hands. He's always busy doing something totally unique and creating out of nothing. And I don't even just mean the mule deer hair. I mean like making a pipe out of a tine from a buck that you procured. Like that is art. That's a different, that's leveled up thinking outside the box. And that for me is John. He's an artist. That's how I would first describe him. Extremely hardworking artist. And not just like whittling, like building a bike. It's just like next level. And he doesn't see it. He's just doing John. And it's just so fun to watch. He'll just whip stuff out of his pack and you'll be like, what? You made that? It's amazing.
I'm just searing off all the extra bits from the fish. I'm gonna make a jus, a concentrated stock basically, from all the ends that we're not using in the chowder. I'm just searing them off to get them nice and roasty to add some extra fishy flavor and make it nice and rich. Try and get like a little pop of flavor just so we can zippity-doo on the end to finish the dish. Little shore lunch.
Yep.
Little shore dinner.
Yeah, not dissimilar from the way it used to be. Teaching
awesome.
somebody how to fly fish in the morning. Except they would be sitting out on the beach somewhere while I cooked. So it's kind of nice that you're here cooking with me. And
Yeah.
you know infinitely more than I do about cooking things.
Well, I don't know about that. It's just good to be cooking with you.
I'm sitting on the shore of a lake above the Arctic Circle, eating shore lunch 30 years ago. biggest cutthroat I've caught. We come to this river maybe once a year, and we're allowed to keep 2 of them. And so I've caught 2 out of this pool, and we're gonna enjoy the heck out of some fresh cutthroat.
John taught me a lot of things. He taught me how to cast in multiple ways. He taught me how to control my line.
Surface, just hit a fly right where my rod is pointing.
Is it like where the water's kind of turning back? Like it's almost like looping?
A little bit. If you put a fly anywhere in that general vicinity,
yeah,
you're good.
Okay.
You think you're doing something, and so to have eyes on the outside was so helpful, because I think I listened to him and then I did it. But I didn't do it. It took all of those little tweaks to start to create a possibility for some success.
There, you got him.
Back up, walk backwards.
Okay. I fished. There's a meadow not too far from where we're camped, covered in sorrel plants. So I'm going to make a shrub with it, macerate them in some sugar overnight. Then we're going to add vinegar and let those flavors kind of intermingle. And then we're going to make a cocktail tomorrow with it.
I knew we were going to be playing with some tequila because we had chatted about it before. And so I thought earthy, smoky, acidic, because all those things go well with tequila. Shrub has vinegar in it and sugar, and then fill in the blank. We hiked through the blazing heat downstream to this spot that Kevin and John and Jeff had scoped out last year, and thought we'd just fish there and have a little lunch. And so everyone kind of spread out doing their own thing. And there's this one pool kind of where we initially walked out onto, and we could see some fish there. And they were just so not interested at all in anything we had to offer. I just thought, oh, I'll just keep practicing. Maybe something will come along, and at least I'll be practicing my cast and drawing my fly. And I don't know, I just kept going. And then eventually he went for it.
Holy crap, Mel. That's a big cutthroat.
He was sitting in that pool and totally ignoring my fly over and over again, and I just kept tossing my fly out, and eventually, I don't know if he got used to it or he just got more and more curious. It's pretty awesome.
I don't have enough weight on it.
Picking wild caraway. We were walking back from a little fish this morning, and Kevin rubbed it between his fingers and positively ID'd it, and now we've got another little treat. We're gonna add this to our tequila bev just to round it out, add another layer. It's almost, well, it's dilly, and it's like mildly dilly. It's not like punchy dill.
Or maybe cold smoked trout locks.
That, especially that. Yes, that. Will you tell me if I'm doing this well? I've for sure cleaned little fish, but I don't fish a lot. It's not something I've had opportunity to do. It's nice to know that you're not missing anything as well.
Up in the Arctic, every day that we'd come back from guiding, we had to clean people's fish. So we had 2 guests and they were allowed to keep 3 or 4 fish each. So quite often you were cleaning 6 fish at a time, and that was just one species. So if they caught numerous species, there's numerous fish. Sometimes there'd be 12 or 14 fish to clean at the end of the day.
We toyed around with the idea of doing a tartare, but I'm learning how to fillet a fish, and it took a little while, so we just want to be safe. We're gonna throw some acid on this baby, and what goes better with ceviche than margaritas? We picked some nodding onion. There's some growing just outside of our camp here. Gotta keep the cocktails cool. So instead of a cointreau with our marg, we had our shrub. Squeeze some limes and tequila, of course. I was trying so hard to not use lime, but we had a whole bag of lime. We still took pieces from the place, and we still added that layer into the marg and leveled it up, and I think that was a total win.
I'm building with nature's Lego. Building a smoker out of rocks that Kevin brings me. It's kind of fun.
What? That was bigger. That was a bigger fish, John.
I think now that I've had an opportunity to experience fly fishing, it's everything I imagined and more. It was the peaceful that I imagined, the calm, it was more exciting than I anticipated. Even the just casting and nothing happening was exciting. I just enjoyed every aspect of it. It's something I will for sure do again.